morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching Janata Television and this is the English Bulletin with me, Shrawan. The top stories first. 4 people die in a single day from coronavirus infection. 224 new cases confirmed from 10,000 PCR tests. Viratnagar metropolis goes under lockdown after increase in coronavirus cases. Fears of community-level transmission grips the authorities. Parliamentary committee probes into the Nepal Telecommunication Authority, demands reason for service delay within 7 working days. WHO warns impact of COVID-19 might last for decades. England halts the easing of lockdown after spike in cases. And Chelsea take on Arsenal in the FA Cup final today. Both teams looking to secure their first silverware of the season. And now the news in detail. 4 people died in a single day due to coronavirus in Nepal. According to the Health Ministry, 3 people from Birganj municipality died while being treated at the Gandak hospital, while 1 more person died while undergoing treatment at the Patan hospital in Lalitpur. A 35-year-old male from Birganj ward number 16 and a 65-year-old man from Birganj 2 died on 30th July while undergoing treatment at the Gandak hospital. Another woman from Birganj, currently living in Thasikhel of Lalitpur, also died due to coronavirus while receiving treatment at the Patan hospital. With that, the total number of deaths from coronavirus has reached 56 in the country. The ministry informed that it conducted 10,758 PCR tests in a single day yesterday, of which 224 samples were tested positive. The increase in number of cases has prompted the government to start coronavirus tests at all major checkpoints around the valley. Currently, there are 5,316 people in isolation wards across the country, while those people who have returned home after recovery has reached 14,399. Capital of province number 1, Viratnagar, will go under lockdown after rise in number of cases. Lockdown 2.0 will begin from today in Viratnagar for an initial period of 2 weeks, informed the Viratnagar Metropolitan City Office. The city office had also requested for issuing lockdown some time back with the rise in infection, but the provincial government had denied their request. The metropolis has seen community-level transmission of coronavirus in recent times, which has forced the local and provincial authorities to enforce lockdown measures again. Many health workers, including doctors and nurses working in various hospitals in the area, have also been infected with the virus. The Development and Technology Committee of the Parliament has directed the government to disclose the reason for the delay in the expansion of 4G network technology. The Development Committee has asked the Communication Ministry and the Nepal Telecommunication Authority to present the reason for the delay in the service operation within 7 days. Chairman of the Development Committee, Kalyani Khadka, informed of the decision yesterday in the meeting held to discuss the effectiveness of service provided by the Nepal Telecom Authority. The committee has also asked the Communication Ministry to submit a work plan within 30 days that will improve the service provided by the Nepal Telecom, as complaints have been on the rise about the network capabilities of the national telecommunications service provider.
नेपाल टेलिकमले प्रदान गर्ने सेवा प्रभावकारी नभएको गुनासो आम नागरिकबाट उठिरहेको सन्दर्भमा टेलिकमले प्रदान गर्ने सेवा प्रभावकारी, गुणस्तरीय र आम नागरिकहरूले अपेक्षा गरे अनुरूप बनाउन टेलिकमका आगामी कार्ययोजना स्पष्ट रूपमा 30 दिनभित्र समितिमा पेश गर्न समिति नेपाल सरकार सञ्चार तथा सूचना प्रविधि मन्त्रालयलाई निर्देशन गर्छ।
The committee has also instructed the Communication Ministry and the NTA to provide a detailed report on all SIM cards distributed from Nepal Telecom and its affiliated private service providers within 7 days. Similarly, it has also requested for the financial report of all its affiliated telecommunications service providers in the same time period. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back after the break. We continue with other national news. Chief of Army Staffs Purna Chandra Thapa has said the Army will be uncovering problems at Khokana settlement as the construction of Kathmandu-Tarai Expressway project takes place. The Army Chief Thapa made such remarks in a program organized at the Ministry of Defence yesterday. The Khokana dispute has obstructed the construction of the expressway, and determining what are the deceptive causes of such dispute is a must before moving ahead with the project, Army Chief Thapa added. The project has underachieved with a progress of only 42% made so far due to the land dispute in Bungmati Khokana, the Army Chief informed.
खोकनाको जग्गाको कारणले पनि त्यसलाई चाहिँ अलिकति हामीलाई नेपाली सेनालाई र नेपाली सरकारलाई नै यसले गम्भीर बनाएको छ। त्यसको पछाडी सामान्य स्थानीय जनताको मात्रै समस्या हो कि अथवा त्यसको पछाडी अरु पनि कारणहरू छन्। ती कारणहरूको पछाडी पनि जानुपर्ने मैले महसुस गरेको छु।
Also requested the government to manage better shelter for Chandi Dal battalion deployed inside Singhadarbar, Kathmandu. If an army battalion is stationed inside Singhadarbar, a prime administrative office has been struggling for a suitable shelter, the government should anticipate the struggles of security personnel serving other areas, the army chief informed. Minister for Culture, Tourism and Civil Aviation announced yesterday that Tribhuvan International Airport will commence with new and improved services soon. Inspecting the airport site yesterday, Minister Bhattarai affirmed TIA will resume service with new facilities beginning 17th of August this month. The airport has undergone many transformations in the last 4 months as air service was terminated to contain the coronavirus. Reformation of airport's physical infrastructure has been completed, Minister Bhattarai further informed. The runway has been extended by 300 meters, which has upgraded the security of aircraft while both landing and taking off. Similarly, the construction of departure hall with 1500 seating capability has also been completed, Minister Bhattarai added. Additional parking spots will help tackle the problem of aircrafts on hold to some extent, Minister Bhattarai said.
धावन मार्ग हो, रनवे हो, यो अलिकति छोटो थियो जसले गर्दा प्लेनहरुलाई अवतरण गर्न त्यसपछि टेक अफ गर्न अलिकति सुरक्षाको दृष्टिकोणले केही समस्याहरू आएका थिए। यो बीचमा हामीले 300 मिटर धावन मार्ग विस्तार गरेका छौं।
Minister Bhattarai toured the airport and inspected the airport after government announced that TIA will resume its international service starting 17th of August post-COVID lockdown. And now the news from the economic front. The price of US dollar has seen a steady increase in the Nepali market. Nepal Rashtra Bank yesterday fixed the buying rate of $1 at 119.45 rupees and the selling rate at 120.5 rupees. The exchange rate fixed by NRB on Thursday was 7 paisa less than yesterday. On Thursday, the buying and selling prices were set at 119.38 rupees and 119.98 rupees respectively. The main reason for the increase in dollar price can be attributed to major investors around the world seeing dollar as a safe bet for short-term investment. In the recent times, the Indian currency has also experienced significant devaluation against US dollar. The Nepali currency, which has a single constant exchange rate with the INR, has therefore experienced the same hike in the dollar exchange rate. Time for a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international news. Now the international news. World Health Organization said yesterday that the effects of global coronavirus outbreak might last for decades in the future. Al Jazeera quoted WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus. The pandemic is a once-in-a-century health crisis, the effects of which will be felt for decades to come, Tedros said in a meeting of the WHO's Emergency Committee. Al Jazeera further reported. The United States, Brazil, Mexico and Britain have been particularly hard hit in the recent weeks by the disease COVID-19 as the governments have struggled to come up with an effective response. The global pandemic has taken more than 670,000 people worldwide since it first emerged in Wuhan of China, and more than 17 million cases have been confirmed across the globe as per the data provided by Johns Hopkins University. Meanwhile, English Prime Minister Boris Johnson yesterday announced all plans to ease lockdown restrictions in England due from today has been postponed until further notice. England has seen rapid spike in coronavirus cases, which has amplified the fear of second wave of infections. In the meantime, the Hong Kong government has also decided to postpone its parliamentary elections in September, citing spike in novel coronavirus cases. According to BBC, Hong Kong is currently experiencing a spike in COVID-19 infections and reported 121 new cases yesterday. Hong Kong's Chief Executive Carrie Lam yesterday postponed the election by a year. The opposition has accused the government of using the pandemic as a pretext to stop people from voting. Government's decision, however, came immediately after 12 pro-democracy candidates were banned from running in the election, BBC added. According to Reuters, Chief Executive Lam did not provide a new date for the vote and just reiterated that it has been postponed for a year. Lam also informed reporters the decision was the most difficult she had made in 7 months. Opposition activists had hoped to obtain a majority in the Legislative Council, LegCo, in September's poll, capitalizing on anger at Beijing's imposition of a controversial national security law in Hong Kong and fears that the territory's freedom are being eroded. You're watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. This year's FA Cup final will be played at the new Wembley Stadium between Arsenal and Chelsea later tonight. Arsenal, who have won a record 13 FA Cups, finished 8th in the Premier League and will not qualify for Europa League if they lose at Wembley. Arsenal's French striker Alexander Lacazette, speaking to the BBC, said, "The FA Cup means a lot and I came to Arsenal to win trophies." Chelsea, on the other hand, have already qualified for next season's Champions League by finishing 4th in the Premier League, and their manager Lampard, while talking to BBC, said, "We must put ourselves under pressure. This is a huge game for Chelsea as it is for Arsenal." Both Lampard and his Arsenal counterpart Mikel Arteta can win their first managerial honours at Wembley by winning this year's FA Cup. In team news, Arsenal defender Hector Bellerin missed the win over Watford as a precaution and will most likely feature in the final. Influential Chelsea pair of N'Golo Kante and Willian are both in the squad after injuries. Paris Saint-Germain beat Lyon on penalties in the final rendition of the French League Cup. It was the final French League Cup final, with the decision made last September to cancel the tournament after this season. The game, however, ended in an uneventful 1-0 draw in regular time and went into the penalties shootout. After the first 10 penalties were scored, PSG keeper Keylor Navas saved from Bertrand Traoré before Pablo Sarabia scored the winning kick, which secured a domestic treble for PSG. The game was watched by about 5,000 fans at the Stade de France and was only the second domestic game in France since Ligue 1 was curtailed in April. The 2021 Ligue 1 season begins on 23rd August, the same day as the Champions League final. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin, and the headlines once again. 4 people die in a single day from coronavirus infection. 224 new cases confirmed from over 10,000 PCR tests. Biratnagar metropolis goes under lockdown after increase in coronavirus cases. Fears of community-level transmission grips authorities. Parliamentary committee probes into the Nepal Telecommunication Authority, demands reason for service delay within 7 working days. WHO warns impact of COVID-19 might last for decades. England halts the easing of lockdown after spike in cases. And Chelsea take on Arsenal in the FA Cup final today. Both teams looking to secure their first silverware of the season. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.